Hey YouTube, this is Southern Purple 1. I want to talk about the Russia-Ukraine situation. I guess we're going into well over 6 months, probably closer to 200 days. It's been a long time. And that was a big thing on the radar for all of us when it first happened. And now it's sort of on the back burner. But the counteroffensive by the Ukrainians is occurring. I have just the facts that most of you get. I get a little bit more information here and there, but typically the information is derived from open sources. So Russia has suffered some losses. Ukraine counterattacked, and now Russia is finally, and I don't say this with great joy or pleasure, trust me, I don't, has finally started to, maybe they're going to have to fight a real war. They're going to have to do what we do when we go into a country, and it's called shock and awe. You devastate the enemies. You devastate his command and control. You devastate his communication. You take out his power. You take out key bridges. You take out any rail. You take out any infrastructure that supports their military. Russia did not do this from the start. They went in there trying to fight a gentleman's war. I have fought gentleman's war. When we went into Iraq, that was crazy. 1 week I got 3 different rules of engagement cards. Hard to fight a war when you're always looking at a card. Many situations where you would be actively engaging an enemy force and they would move into a mosque. As soon as they move into a mosque, it would take an act of Congress for you to go in there. It would take an act of Congress to actually fire at them. You would have to take their incoming rounds, reposition, so you were out of danger. They knew those rules. So we didn't fight it like we should have. We had politicians in charge. But definitely Putin went into Ukraine trying to cause this least amount of damage. Then he realized, hey, it was not working, so he decided to, rely on his artillery. And he started pounding the Ukrainians. And that did help. Russia has a huge advantage artillery. So now I think they're going to come to a point where they're going to have to fight a real war, and they are. They're taking out power. They're taking out the infrastructure support the civilians. Now you might say, why are they doing that? They're civilian targets. There's no really civilian targets over there if you think about it. Any type of manufacturing can be used for war. The power is used to run factories. So if you're going to fight a war, fight it and get it over with. As this thing drags on and Ukraine does not get to the peace tables, it's worse for us. Eventually, Ukraine and Russia will sit down. If you look at paper, Russia is so much stronger. Now, the only reason Ukraine is still going is because of the world sending military arms. And really, it's not the world, it's majority U.S. taxpayers. So as more money flows in there, more weapons flow in there, it's actually making you more unsafe. If the war ended, it'd make safety for the United States a lot higher. But it's not. So as this thing continues, we are in more line to have a direct conflict with Russia. And that could cause China to get involved and everyone else to pick their sides. And that's not what we want. This is also a distraction. As the war keeps going on, the administration has the ability to blame inflation on Russia and Putin, which they have done. I mean, they're not telling you that $7 trillion were printed, and that is the real cause of inflation. $7 trillion of new money. When you do that, everything has to go up. It's not even a question. This is basic economics. So they do use it as a distraction of what's happening in the economy. Also, Russia has the advantage with the energy. Natural gas is needed in Europe. Europe has had a policy of relying on Russia to supply them with gas, and now it is going to hurt them badly. This winter, it's going to be very hard for Europeans to be able to afford to heat. It's going to cost them dearly. This will cause more instability. So as quick as this war can get over, the better it is for Europe, the better it is for us. But as we continue to pump money and arms in there, it just drags it on. I spoke months ago about the depletion of our weapon systems. Right now we are decimated, and a lot of people say, oh, they're giving them old stuff. The war stock is pretty old. We really have not modernized as much as we should have. Money was spent in other ways. So yes, anti-tank weapon systems, stingers, artillery rounds, especially 155s, they are getting short supplied. And I mean short supplies. If we had to fight a two-prong attack or a two-nation attack, be it Russia and China, we would be in serious trouble. The amount of time it takes to get these things produced, even some of the anti-tank weapons, they're struggling to get the components to build new ones. Literally, I've talked to people that work for the company. They're having to redesign things because they can't get the parts. This is a huge problem. So the more we get rid of our stockpile, it endangers the United States. If it's hard now to get supplies, what would happen if China decided, hey, we're going to cut you off completely? You might say, well, we just keep building stuff. What happened if an EMP went off and they directly attacked the continental United States, causing the power grid to go down? That would devastate our ability to manufacture goods. We wouldn't be manufacturing the armaments we would need to defend ourselves. So as this war goes on, it endangers you. I will be happy when they sit down and have this thing hashed out. Yeah, I feel sorry for the Ukrainian people, but guess what? My love and first concern is for America. So it's going to be a very interesting winter right now. Europe's going to freeze, or they're going to spend all their money just to keep warm. Russia, with this counterattack, is stepped up their shock and awe, and if they would have done that from day one, this war would have been over. But they haven't. So we have no idea what the future is going to hold, but the instability that this situation is creating is getting worse. Ukraine's success on the battlefield, I would believe it's totally due to a few things. First, it's due to us providing the armaments, the money. Secondly, we are offering a ton of technical advice, and I truly believe that I said months ago, with some of the things I've been told firsthand from people, that we have some serious amount of advisors over there, be it SF, be it CIA, be it private contractors that are hired by the United States government to aid and assist the Ukrainians. So I believe that's what is happening. So this winter is going to be interesting. Thanks for watching.